Today we are going to go through champagne tower, which is a problem, which is the daily coding of today. And this is really an interesting problem in the sense of it kind of reflects something we used to see in some wedding, stuff like that. So the situation is that we have a set of champagne, and then we are filling the champagne by just filling the first one, and the first one, when it is full, is going to fill the one under him, and so on and so on. Given that whenever it is full, it's going to share evenly from the left and from the right the amount of water overflowing. So that is the idea here. So what does that mean exactly? That means we are going to receive a certain quantity of champagne, which is going to be placed in the first one, and whenever this first one is going to be full, it's going to share the rest of the champagne to the other ones, and so on. Those ones are going to do the same, moving until there is no drop of water to share, or no drop of champagne. We are drinking champagne. Okay, so given that, how are we going to approach it? Before sharing the approach, we need to have some example. So let us take this first example. We have an input. We are pouring 1 liter of champagne. Let us say 1 liter of champagne, and then we want to see the quantity of champagne we have at row 1 and the glass 1. So know that we are zero base. So when you are going to pour 1 liter of champagne, it's going to fill this one. This one is going to remain empty because we just have 1 liter, so it's going to fill this one. So if you're trying to access the row 1, which is this one, and glass 1, you are going to have 0. That's why you have 0 here. Whereas if you were pouring maybe 2 liters of champagne, you would have 0.5 here, because the first liter is going to fill here, but the second liter is going to be shared evenly in between those two, and you will have 0.5. So if you were having 2 here, you would have received 0.5 here. Now, given those examples, how are you going to approach? Before sharing my approach, I really encourage you to subscribe if you are concerned about data structure, algorithm, competitive programming, because that is what we are doing here. We are solving LeetCode daily and then occurring solution. So don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share. Now, let me share with you my approach. So my approach will be to consider this shape as a 2-dimension array, and looping through each of the elements of the array, where when I'm going to be on an element, I'm going to remove the overflow and share evenly to the one directly under him, and I will do so until I reach the last element of the last row of my matrix. I will say so. So what does that look exactly? That means I will come here. Let's say I have maybe 16. I will have 16 here. I will come here. I will say, oh, you have 16, but the maximum you can have is just 1. What we will do is that we are going to remove the extra, and we are going to share it to those elements. After, I will come back again here. I will apply the same logic until I'm at the end, and when I will be at the end, the element at the end will reflect the quantity of champagne they should have, corresponding to what has been thrown at the beginning. So what will the code look like? The code will look like this. This is my 2-dimension array, and then I'm pouring everything to the first one. When I'm looping through my elements, I'm starting at the first one. For each of the element, I'm looping through each of the glasses, and for each of the glasses, I'm gonna say, okay, the overflow is actually the maximum of 0, and the quantity that is present in that glass minus 1. Why minus 1? Because the maximum you can have is 1. So if you have more than 1, we need to use it. Why are we taking the max? Because if your quantity is less than 1, we should leave you without. We should leave you with that quantity. There's nothing we can remove if you have less than 1. Why are we dividing by 2? We divide by 2 because you are flowing element from the 2 sides. That's why we divide by 2. And then we assign one of those overflow directly to the element under you, and then the other one is to the element under you, directly next to you. That means the row directly under you, but the column direct you after you. So what will it look like? So let me give you a simulation here. So you see, So let us say we have something like this. I'm going to explain the simulation so you see what's happening. So you have 17 here. Why do you have 8 here? Because 1 is going to remain here, and then you have an overflow of 16, and then that 16 is going to be shared evenly here and here. After that, now why do we have 3 5 and 3 5 here? Because this one, we are now looping here, this one is 8. We are going to leave 1 here, the overflow will be 7, and the 7 will be shared here and here. There's one about 3 5 3 5. And then after the 3 5, why do we have 7 here and 3 5 here? Because we are done with this. Now we are moving to this guy. The overflow here is also 7. This one is going to put 3.5 here, but there were already 3.5, so this one is going to be 7. 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3.5, and then this one is going to be 3.5. So this is how it's going to work. And then another interesting thing is that whenever you reach something like this, you don't really need to fill the element that are after the query class, because those elements are not going to affect your query class that you are searching for. So you can save your save complexity by just not considering those elements. So taking all that in consideration, this is the overall simulation, how it look like. Have a look on it. Here is it. I hope you do enjoy the simulation. I hope you learned from it. Don't hesitate to share with me your thoughts, your feedback. I'll be really happy to interact with you regarding this. See you on the next video. Stay tuned. Keep working. Keep learning. Ciao.